Good morning and welcome to Southwest London as you join us for a little slice of varsity history. My name is Sarah Orchard, and over the next 2 hours, BBC Sport will be bringing you the 29th Women's Rugby Varsity, the first to be played at Twickenham and the first to be televised. Back in 1988, a chance conversation in a Cambridge pub brought two women from both universities together with a united goal. They both wanted to start women's rugby teams, and they also wanted to start the women's varsity. That's what you're watching right now as Carly Bliss of Oxford leads out her team. And on the left-hand side, you can see the figure of Nikki Weckman leading out Cambridge. Well, the first varsity was played on the 10th of March, 1988. The dream of Oxford's Heather Bunting and Cambridge's Sophia Peggers was the realised at Iffley Road, as Cambridge actually ran out on that day 8-6 winners. Today's player of the match will lift the Bunting Peggers trophy in their honour. Alongside me here is former England captain and Oxford Blue, Sue Day. Thank you so much for joining us, Sue. And we can just see the teams lining up. How does it make you feel?
Almost indescribable. I've run out in a varsity match before, I've run out at Twickenham before. I'm not sure I ever believed we'd see both happening at the same time. A real slice of history, so exciting to be part of, so exciting for each of these players. Amazing.
Well, you can see there the women's varsity trophy just in front of us here. An emotional moment for both of the universities stood out on the pitch in front of us as the national anthem is sung out around Twickenham for the first time today. Of course, the men's varsity will follow this later this afternoon at 2:30. So on the left-hand side, you can see the dark blues of Oxford. On the right-hand side, you can see the light blues of Cambridge. They're both going to have a huddle now before we get proceedings underway here at Twickenham. We'll look at the teams in just a few moments' time. But again, you were looking at the faces there of some of the players there, Sue. It takes your breath away.
It really does, and the emotions, the things that will be going through their heads right now.
Well, let's take a look at this Oxford team. Keep an eye out on the captain there, Carly Bliss, one of the most experienced players there for the Dark Blues. She's already got 4 blues to her name. Also, Van der Grient, also former 4 blues, winning her 5th today. Yasset Van der Grient, a very experienced number 8 there in the forwards. Here comes your Cambridge squad. Nikki Weckman there, captains with 5 on her back. She's one of 2 Canadians in the Cambridge squad. Also keep an eye out for Caroline Reid. Wearing number 11, she becomes the first ever woman to win a blue in rugby, having already won one, well, many actually, in rowing, we should say. And what a day for her, because, Sue, you're nodding away here. She was involved in the boat race earlier this year, so she gets to be involved in the 2 first televised varsity events. That's pretty impressive.
That's making history, isn't it? What an amazing achievement to go from rowing to rugby in the space of less than a year. Phenomenal.
Although getting more than one blue is something you actually achieved in different sports. We'll talk about that in a moment. The lady you can see on your screen right now is our referee today, Sarah Cox. What? Gosh, I mean, when we talk about Sarah Cox, she has achieved so much in a very short period of time. She's only 25 years old, and just 2 weeks ago, she became the first woman appointed to the RFU panel. Now, that means she's now a part of the professional match officials, so you could well see her on a touchline in the Aviva Premiership very soon.
Amazing, isn't it? Fully contracted referee aiming for Rio as well in the 7s. She's the most experienced woman out on the pitch today, probably the coolest head of all. She's been in the middle of matches like this before. Most of the players won't have been, so they're going to want to get started, just get this game going. It's always less nerve-wracking once the ball has been kicked off.
Well, we're about to get underway then in the first ever women's varsity at Twickenham. It's the 29th chapter in their history. It's going to be Cambridge who are going to be kicking off in front of us. They'll be playing from right to left in this first half. Of course, wearing the traditional hoops of Cambridge. And it's Anna Wilson who gets us underway there. It's going to be collected on the left-hand side of the field then by Oxford. And it's Van der Grient then who gathers and manages to get Oxford out of the 22. Bliss. Got good support in there. Comes back once again. Wilcock finds more support. Arrives in the form of Robinson. Bliss again. Willett. A big box kick comes in by Bliss. She's very well famed for that. You can expect to see a lot of it in this match. But Alice Middleton is running away now for Cambridge. Her dancing feet on her second degree at the moment. She's already a qualified dentist. Now she's studying to become a doctor. Tense little tussle going on there in the centre of the field as it's taken on once again, but there's some massive hits going in at the moment by Cambridge.
There are really good ball carrying from Oxford. The Cambridge defence equal to it though.
Turnover ball by Cambridge. They are the slight favourites for this fixture here today. Ball's being placed back there by Jessica Charlton, who's actually the club manager for Cambridge. Elgar down on the ground, good body position. Thorne. Chloe Withers goes in there. Her coach was only telling to me the other day how much Chloe Withers loves contact. She has the mentality for it. Wilson down on the ground, gathered again by Thorne, looking for her options. Stuck on the halfway at the moment. Now it's time for the captain to get her hands on the ball for Cambridge, and she was under a lot of pressure there, but Cambridge do come and help her out. Out to the far side. That was better by Cambridge, but it's gone forward, and Oxford try and get the ball. They've got turnover. It's loose on the ground.
No advantage, Kane. Knock on.
And it looked like actually Chloe Withers was about to steal that one, but it's gone forward by Cambridge, and we'll get our first look at a scrum.
It's only got a little bit of a let-off for Oxford there. The ball goes forward here. Cambridge, after phase after phase after phase, had managed to create the overlap, but the ball goes forward and well picked up by Emily Stone for Oxford. Now let's see who gets the better of this first scrummage.
Right then, you have to remember that this match, a lot of these women, they only started playing rugby, some of them not until October. It's incredible the bravery they have, and what a scrum there by Cambridge. Absolutely powerful stuff. Ball comes away down the line. Middleton now has it. She's running away. She manages to weave a line back into the Oxford half. Thorne again. Wilson. Support arrives again. It's Chloe Withers taking on the ball. She's been a busy forward so far, and it's still very early. Cooper now. Oh, slight knock on there by Cambridge again.
Knock on, it's gone forward.
Just in the contact area, wasn't it? Went forward from Cambridge, but Oxford will not want to be getting back into a scrummage after that first one. Cambridge absolutely dominated, didn't they? Look at this replay. Just the leg drive, the low body positions. Lovely ball from Cambridge.
Crouch.
Well, last week Cambridge did beat the University of South Wales 117-0, scoring 19 tries.
No.
Oh, we're going to reset that scrum. Referee Sarah Cox very quickly just to calm everyone down.
That, okay?
So we know that Cambridge, when they get good ball, have got some great runners out wide. 19 tries in one game. There's some pace out there so far, though they've not managed to get the ball into enough space to see what they've got.
Crouch.
Well, on this near side of the scrum, you can see our tight head for Oxford, who is Cecilia Pecker. She's doing a BA in music, and she's being pushed backwards at the moment. She's a soprano singer, but it's Cambridge who come away with the ball. Donaldson takes it down into contact. Thorne once again. Wilson arrives to take it on. McNally. Round the corner. Cambridge go. Elgar now.
It's fine, first man.
Been coughed up on the wrong side, and the kick comes in. It's a good kick as well there by Wilcock, who pushes Cambridge back into their half. And Middleton again, little bit of confusion there with her fellow wing. And Cambridge lost a lot of ground, but it's been kicked back up. We get a first chance now. Sophie Trott on the ball, running away with it down this near side.
Knock on. It's come off you.
It's loose ball there, but that's actually, if we say again, some of these women have not played since October. That's not bad for kicking for people who haven't done it for less than 2 months.
No, and a kick is only as good as its chase, and chased brilliantly by Emily Stone, the first Oxford kick. And then kicked back by Cambridge into the hands of Sophie Trott, chatting to Gary Street before the game. He's very excited by Sophie Trott, not been playing the game long, but lovely footwork. We saw a little bit of her pace there.
Set.
Gary Street will be a very familiar name for anyone in around rugby circles. He was the captain of England when they won the World Cup last year, 2014. He is now the coach of Oxford University, brought in especially to help beef them up ahead of this varsity. Both teams have really been transformed since this has been brought to Twickenham. They've all had extra coaching staff come in and help them, and Gary has absolutely loved his time with Oxford.
It's quite a year for these girls, isn't it, to be playing at Twickenham, then to have the former England coach Gary Street coaching you.
Well, he'll be watching on right now, looking very closely as Cambridge. Another good scrum comes in from then. They're just looking for that little bit of space. Big bullocking run coming in here by Anna Wilson, who's making a lot of ground with the ball.
Got lost.
She is, Anna Wilson, sucking defenders in. 1, 2, 3 defenders in the end. Had to commit to her. If they can then get the ball out, if they can recycle quickly, once Anna Wilson's made one of those runs, the Oxford defence will be in all sorts of trouble. Here she goes, a little pop pass, and then shrugs off the first 2 tackles, takes 2 more tackles. So imagine how many defenders that's sucked in.
Anna Wilson, she does actually have a background in football, and she's also got a blue in hockey as well, a real all-rounder. You're nodding away when I say hockey as well.
9 blue stay.
You had a little bit of affinity with hockey, didn't you, Sue?
I did. Played hockey as well for Oxford. There'll be a lot of players here who've crossed over from other sports.
You get a big run then that comes in for Pika. She's down on the ground, desperately trying to get the ball out, but it's been coughed out. It's just rolled there, and I think that's a good call by the referee.
Yeah, the ball popped out the side. There was nothing offside there by the Cambridge defence, but there'd been a knock-on a minute before that, or a second before that rather. So it's ball to Oxford, but Oxford have to get this ball in and out of the scrummage. They can't afford for it to be hanging around because Cambridge are so dominant there. There's the knock-on.
That was really good work there by the scrum half for Oxford. Carly Bliss, she's 27 years old, and she's really trying to help out her pack out there as much as they can. She knows they're under huge pressure at that scrum, and it's a penalty now. Binding gone there by Oxford. They walk away with their hands up saying, really, why?
They'll be gutted because it's the first scrum they had parity, wasn't it? But the penalty's been given away, so good ball for Cambridge.
Play on, play on.
Good pick up around the ankles there by Elgar, who gets back into the Oxford half. We're still 0-0 here at the moment. The clocks around the stadium aren't working, but it's still nearly 9 minutes gone here in the first women's varsity to be played here at Twickenham Stadium.
Been some good work at the breakdown for Oxford, snaffling the ball when Cambridge aren't getting it back quickly enough.
Great hit there went in by Chloe Withers. Still Oxford ball. Robinson.
Stay.
Trademark box kick again by Bliss. Forces both the fullback and the wing to turn. It's Middleton again. She's had a few mazy runs. She's got another now. She's got a lot of Oxford players around her. Support does arrive though from the forwards.
There's a ruckus formed offside.
Thorne manages to find more support as Elgar goes into contact again. Both the flankers for Cambridge, very busy women today.
Charge down.
Good charge down by
Knock
Oxford,
on.
knocked on straight away.
Advantage over.
Chance here for Cambridge, lots of space out there.
Right on the far side, it's been well marked though by Oxford, who go right out there. Anna Bidgood, the hooker, down on the ground. She's got herself in all kinds of a tangle there. This ball could cough up on either side, and it's Cambridge who come away with it. Captain Willett once again.
That's the tackle, release Blue, release.
Good information from the referee to the players. Let go of that ball, it's a tackle now, the knees are on the floor.
Still Cambridge ball. Right round the ankles there. McNally can't get a clean pass away. She had Reed on her shoulder, so Cambridge lose a couple of metres. To the number 8, Cooper. She almost thinks about getting rid of the ball there. She does well to hold on to it, almost second-guessed herself. Withers. Now it's Reed. Places back.
Stop here.
Back down the line once again. We get to see a run coming in now. It's Banner who manages to get her hands onto it.
Hold him. Yeah, you've got the penalty.
So if Cambridge are getting the better at the scrum at the moment, Oxford getting the better of the breakdown. They're managing getting quickly on the ball carrier and trying to snaffle the ball. The ball carrier's not releasing the ball. Penalty to Oxford. So at the moment, yeah, Oxford up at the breakdown, but Cambridge very much up at the scrum.
Cambridge having plenty of possession. They just don't seem to be going anywhere with it.
Yeah, really not getting over the gain on the Oxford defence at the moment, equal to everything Cambridge is throwing at it.
Ball goes out down the far side. Big running coming in now by Emily Stone. Still one of the new players, but she's well fancied. She's become a very, very decent rugby player. Huge potential. Willett then takes it on. She's got herself in a tricky situation.
There you go, ball's there. Stay out.
So this is the first real attack we're seeing now by Oxford. Ellie Copley takes it down to ground. Out onto the far side. It's interesting that Cambridge aren't really committing to the rucks. It's just the main tackle that goes in. They're really choosing their times of when they go in. That's a big snaffle going in there. This is going to be a real contest on the ground. There's all kinds of hands in there.
It's not coming out of there, okay? Last thing I saw was White take it in, okay? Scrum down.
Very clear information for the referee. Last thing she saw, White take it in. White ball. I think there's probably a knock forward from Oxford as well, so it's certainly the right result in the end. But given the dominance of Cambridge in the scrum, this is a really strong attacking opportunity for them now.
Considering, Sue, that we keep saying that a lot of these women have only, this is their first season of rugby, have you been impressed by what you've seen in this first 12 minutes?
Yeah, there's been some real standout players. Emily Stone, for me, for Oxford, been very, very good. Anna Wilson, who's just getting the ball for Cambridge.
Perhaps marginally forward there by Cambridge, but referee Cox happy that they're stringing the phases together here.
So racket's lost.
Back into the Oxford half again. Can Cambridge make this one count? Once again, Willett takes it on. Penalty to Cambridge, and they are edging closer into Oxford territory.
Yep.
Still too far out for them to have a pop at goal. Out down the line, they've got numbers on the far side. McNally has the ball, she needs to look up. Subordinate, it's Wilson who's going forward now. Wilson with the ball. Now McNally takes it on. They're 10 metres short. This is the first real attack we've seen by Cambridge. Keeping it tight, keeping it tough. Wilson once again. Withers.
No, stop. Drop back.
Supporting from Cooper. Cambridge trying to edge closer, but it's a great snaffle that went in by O'Connell.
First, then go for the ball.
Penalty to Cambridge in front of the posts. They are not interested at all in the points. They want to go for the glory. Flying towards the line, but stopped inches short by good, solid Oxford defence. Now the scrum half, Thorne thinks she can see daylight. Denied. Round the corner, it's the prop. It's Banner. But she cannot get it down. Referee in a good position to see that one.
Yeah, Oxford just managed to get bodies under the ball. That all started from brilliant hands by Claire Donaldson, popping to Anna Wilson. Then they set up phase after phase after phase. Finally, Cambridge get the ball over the line, but not past Oxford. Number 7, Ellen O'Connell, who managed to get a body under the ball. There goes Anna Wilson. Look at that running. Takes about 5 missed tackles. Finally, they get her down.
Expect a very big Cambridge scrum. 5 metres out from the Oxford line. Let's see what these Cambridge forwards have got in the locker room. Ball goes in. Oh, it's loose on this side. Good work there by the scrum half, Thorne, to tidy that up. Wasn't controlled well there. It's stuck up there. It's still in the air, now gone down.
Ball's there.
It's a bit of a mess, but referee's going to let it play. Picked up round the corner again. This time it's Kira Scott. Someone's flown over the top there. We're playing advantage. It's going to come out to this side. Middleton over the line. Try for Cambridge. The first points of the women's varsity played at Twickenham, and it's Dr. Alice Middleton of Lucy Cavendish who goes over for the first 5.
It was coming, wasn't it, Cambridge? You've had all the pressure, the back line really starting to flow. Forward sucking them in, and then they get quick ball out. It comes to Anna Wilson. She's been the one making all the inroads. This time, though, uses her good hands. It goes through the hands. Wilson to McNally, finally to Middleton, finishes it off. An easy finish for her in the end, but first blood to Cambridge, and they've had all the pressure so far.
Well, Alice Middleton is one of the few players out there actually who has got some pretty solid and decent rugby experience behind her. She spent some time with Shelford Rugby Club as well, born in Stevenage, and a great conversion we've seen there as well, going through the sticks. And it was Middleton herself who stepped up to convert that. She's a good, decent place to get that little wry smile there as she runs away. She's pleased with her efforts there.
Oh, well, scoring a try in the varsity match, the first try in the varsity match, a great moment. And Shelford, of course, a great producer of women's rugby players. Shelley Ray, the great England fly half, great kicker. IRB Player of the Year 2001 came from Shelford. They've created a lot of good players there.
Oh, buddy of yours as well.
Certainly is.
Well, as Oxford make their way back up, we should say there's a lot of old girls from both Oxford and Cambridge who are here at Twickenham today. We know that, Sue, you said a lot of the old girls from Oxford, they actually had a big breakfast reunion this morning.
Yeah, the first team, the teams to play in that first match, gathering together to celebrate, and why not? You know, when you've been a part of history, part of starting this tradition off, to finally see it arrive at the home of rugby must be the most phenomenal feeling.
I just need to know, so
well, Oxford just not managing to get the ball 10 there, so we're going to restart with the Cambridge scrum on the halfway. We should also say, in case you don't know, that the Player of the Match award actually is presented with the Bunting Peggers Trophy. Those were the two women who started the varsity back in 1988. They are both here, and they will no doubt be absolutely... I'd be incredibly proud of myself. I don't know about you, Sue. Look at what they've achieved.
Certainly, well, there's a huge amount of space out in the blind side here for Cambridge.
Ball comes round the corner, taken on by the try scorer Middleton. Was that a forced knock-on is the question by Cambridge.
The pass, so it's a scrum down blue ball.
Referee saying that the pass has gone forward, so a let-off for Oxford. Oxford at that scrum defending so wide, meaning there was a huge amount of space for Alice Middleton to run into. You can see it just probably crept forward there, didn't it? Let off for Oxford. No dice that time for Middleton.
I think Abigail Willett will be delighted with that decision. The Oxford 6, but it's a scrum then to Oxford, far side of the field. Oh, another huge Cambridge scrum, and Van der Grient is at the base there, is desperate to try and get that one out and away. She's done well there. Jesse Van der Grient, she's at the Dutch number 8 for Oxford. Taken on by Pika. Good tactic by Oxford to clear that ball through that Carly Bliss box kick. It's doing them well every time they execute.
With a player as potent as Alice Middleton back there, you have to chase it well as well, don't you? And that time they did.
That's it, ball's available.
Not quick ball here at all for Cambridge. Eventually does come away, and very close there to scrum half Thorne. There's not a lot of deep running. This looks a lot deeper. Ball comes away down the line now. Wilson looks up. McNally is there. She comes back inside. Reid was outside her, but keeping with the support at the moment, Cambridge. Once again, goes through Withers, the flanker. The light blues leading here at Twickenham. First try scored by Alice Middleton, converted also by Middleton.
Leave it
Slightly going backwards here, not getting over the gain line here, and we've got turnover ball for Oxford. Is there opportunity? They've got numbers on the far side if they look up. Cambridge taking a long time to arrange their defence there. The opportunity possibly gone as Wilcock now takes it on. Managed to get rid of the first. It was open play. It was a good take there by Wilson for Cambridge. Having to be stood in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it could have been dangerous for Oxford, that take by Wilson. Lots of space for Cambridge out here if they can just get into it. The Oxford defence not organised.
Thorne manages to dig out the ball, looks up, Wilson to McNally again, through the hands, Middleton, she's got support from Reed, she can't get the ball away, and it goes forward and out.
Well covered in defence in the end from Emily Stone, working with Helen Potts. Cambridge had a lot of space. You can see it's good hands again from Wilson here, just manages to get ball into the open space, and that 10, 12, 13, 15 combination from Cambridge getting over the gain line again. But fortunately that time for Oxford, managed to shepherd them into touch. I think this might be our first line out.
We do have a line out. It will be taken by Anna Bidgood. You'll see they've gone for short numbers here in the line out. Managed to shuffle a couple of the forwards back out into the line, Oxford. So just 5 women in there, stolen by Cambridge, nice tip down there. Gathered now by Cambridge, and they've got the territory here inside of the Oxford half again.
Good. Stay.
Thorne looks up, manages to find Wilson, who's going to go cross field with a kick. Waiting out there is Grant, spun round in an uncomfortable position there. Big pressure put on her by Cambridge, and as a result they get the ball.
Yeah, I think it's Laura Gibson putting the pressure on Mel Grant there. The kick didn't go exactly where Anna Wilson wanted it to, so it's relatively easy for Grant to feel, but then the challenge comes in. Yes, it is Laura Gibson, and just manages to knock the ball out.
We should also mention, we've talked about the coaches there for Oxford, I should also mention the Cambridge coach is Jack Baird. He's 25 years old, and he's actually perhaps one to watch for the future. He's been coaching London and South East under-18 girls as we watch Carly Bliss. She was very good there, but she's been called offside. I was about to praise her somewhat.
Living on the edge like all good scrum halves.
Well, let's see. I'm not sure yet if she's going to get into trouble for that. The referee hasn't said advantage is over just yet. There you go.
No, stay.
Thorne. Donaldson. Thorne again. Taken on by Scott. Big run coming in there by Scott. Good hard yards.
Ball's available.
That's the hooker, Charlton. Another good, strong run there. The front row putting in the effort here. Donaldson again. Support comes in. Reed once again on this near side. She manages to just hold her body position rather than being rolled towards this near side. This is slow work by Cambridge, but it's going in the right direction. Cooper.
That's it.
Donaldson looks up. Wilson is there. McNally again. McNally running very straight lines the whole time. She's not dithering at all from that channel. Wilson looks up, out on the far side. Laura Gibson is there. Middleton's with her as well. Goes down to ground. Still going is Wilson, who absolutely refuses to give up at any point during any attack. Nunes Mulder. Thorne again. Cooper. And we're up and away. It's been taken on now by Jessica Charlton. She's been stopped 10 metres short. Cambridge need quick ball. Wilson looks up. Middleton's outside her. Isn't going to get the pass away. She finally does. It's Middleton again. She's quickly wrapped up, and good work by Ellen O'Connell for Oxford to steal the ball. And she somehow manages to avoid being dragged into touch. Box kick by Bliss. Brilliant cover work there by Oxford.
Yeah, but a great attacking opportunity for Alice Middleton again.
Well, she managed to get the ball back away, and Cambridge, having made all that ground, had now lost about 20 metres, and they're back between the 10 and the 22. We did have a little bit of medical treatment for a couple of players who are on the far side of the field, but they seem to be back and underway. Wilson with the overhead, being sucked up by Sophie Trott, who's going to call in for a little bit of support on this near side by Potts, but she loses the ball forward in the tackle.
Yeah, just a little bit of inexperience really from Sophie Trott there, trying to get the ball away. Probably not what you want to be doing out of the tackle that close to your try line. She fields it very, very well. The pass needed to either go before contact or not at all there. As it is, the ball gets coughed up for Cambridge, but look at this run. Look at this run from Jessica Charlton. Eventually she gets brought down, but way, way over the gain line. Cambridge with all of the pressure at the moment. Charlton that time, but the Cambridge backs really starting to click. Wilson and McNally in particular out in that midfield.
Well, we saw a little bit of a shot there of Jessica Charlton, who's the Cambridge hooker. And she is actually one of the most experienced players. On the screen at the moment, you see a little bit of treatment going on to Emily Stone. She's at Hertford College. She's doing a BA in maths. And that there is Jess Charlton, who we just saw that brilliant run for. As you say, one of the most experienced players in this Cambridge squad. And she was born in Stockport, went to school in Manchester. She's a fourth-year medical student at the moment. And I have to say, in this Cambridge squad in particular, in between all of them, there are so many doctors and vets that if anyone here or any animal goes into labour or has an injury, we are covered. There is that many of them out there. I think there's 6 or 8 vets at least, and the rest are all doctors.
Thank goodness for that. Any cats giving birth on the sideline today will be all right.
Yes. Well, you say that. Occasionally we do have a little bit of wildlife that does enter Twickenham occasionally. You may remember during one Six Nations match just a few years ago, we had a fox that came out. Yeah. Took a while for someone to chase him away. Poor thing was absolutely petrified, in the centre of attention.
Fortunately for Oxford, Emily Stone's patched up all right. They need to keep her on the pitch. She's been one of their best players so far.
Another big scrum from Cambridge, comes away through Thorne, looks up, Wilson, crash ball then by McNally, running those beautiful straight lines that she does. The Canadian takes it down to ground. They've got numbers on the far side. They're not going to quite get it there quick enough. Middleton has to take it straight in, coughed up to the far side, taken now by Lara Gibson. Oxford plenty of time to rearrange the defence. More forward ball for Withers. Someone else has to go in and play scrum half, and being pushed backwards now. Cambridge, a tricky body position.
Ball's available.
I think the tackler there was a little bit lucky to get away with that one. Slightly on the wrong side.
Tackle and roll, tackle and move.
And it's a 2 in a row there. Oxford going to have to be careful around the breakdown. Once again, the captain, Wetman, taking it on. Oh, big knock on there. It was a tough pass there around the ankles.
It was. You need to keep the ball up.
Right, can Oxford get down the other end? What can they do with this ball? Taken in now, down on the ground, and there's a big call there. I think we're going to have an injury here, unfortunately. That wasn't a nice noise that we heard go up there. It's Peaker who's gone down to ground. It's Cecilia Peaker who's just going to receive a little bit of treatment there, and she'll be given as much time as she needs. And the captain there, Carly Bliss, is going to just spend a little bit of time with her and just check that she's okay. Carly Bliss herself is doing a PhD in clinical medicine, so that's why she's staying there at the moment whilst the medics arrive to help her out. So we'll just take a little bit of a break here as Peaker is just quietly reassured, and they just check her out. We just watch a little bit of a replay of what happened before then. This was the last Oxford break, Cambridge break.
Yeah, the 10, 12, 13 combination for Cambridge working very, very well. Clearly played together quite a bit before. Anna Wilson pivotal to all of this. The handling, the decision-making from Anna Wilson, whether to take it in, and when she does take it in, always gets over the gain line, but she showed as well really good handling skills and really good timing of her pass out to McNally.
When it comes to both sides, and we've been talking about not many of them playing here, I know Oxford, they actually have set up a number of player development days where anyone can turn up, and they've been telling me they've had up to 80 women turn up to these days. That's fantastic.
It's phenomenal, and the fact that the varsity match is being played at Twickenham, the fact that there has been a fuss about it, the fact that it creates media and attention means that there'll be more players coming along. So it's brilliant for the game, it's brilliant for the women's game, the fact that it's here. And there'll be, in the time that I was playing, I was a hockey player, moved over to rugby. That's exactly what most of the players out here will be, players who played another sport. Here we watch Alice Middleton going over. What a feeling that is to score a try in the Varsity match. It means so much. Your whole season is focused on this one match. So to get over the line in such a special game is phenomenal.
Well, as you can see, Cecilia Pika is going to be okay. She's just shaking out her hip a few times as she gets ready to go into this scrum. It was Oxford going forward at the time, so good news here for Pika. Her Varsity continues. As Bliss waits to get the ball in, it's a big push back there again, and they're struggling to control it. They're desperately trying to hook it to the back, and it's finally out. That was hooked back about 3 times by Oxford, kicked through by Bliss, and waiting is Middleton again. She's going to fly off. She's got support outside her. McNally is there. Also, it's a loose pass and Middleton has to go back and gather. She's going backwards. Now she's going forwards. Middleton's so instrumental in all of the running from the back here for Cambridge. Thought to Cooper, who's at Fitzwilliam College. She's studying natural sciences. Once again, Nikki Wetman winning her second blue here for Cambridge today, the captain. Big run going in by Claire Donaldson. McNally again, happy in contact, as is Wilson.
Beautiful offload, wasn't it, McNally and Wilson? They worked so well together.
Ball comes up. Cambridge just looking for their options at the moment. Is it on here? Out to the far side. Lara Gibson running down the far side wing, hunting down Cambridge's second try here of the Varsity match. She's not done by going over. She's getting as close to those posts as possible. Lara Gibson, 22 years old, studying veterinary medicine at Cambridge, goes over for try number 2.
Someone tell her she's allowed to smile. She just scored a try in the Varsity match at Twickenham. It's all right, Lara, you did it. Scored, got the ball over the line. You can see the Oxford defence just getting a little bit sucked in here. So when Cambridge finally move it out into the wide open spaces, Mel Grant is slightly out of position because she's been sucked in trying to cover the players inside, leaves Lara Gibson that little bit of space, who does really well to finish it off. There's a lot to do when she finally gets the ball here, but she pins her ears back, sprints away through that one tackle, past the despairing tackle of Sophie Trott at fullback, and then practically under the posts, making it easier for her kicker.
Well, it's Middleton who's lining up this opportunity. Big right boot. It's not quite got height on it, hasn't got the direction either. So it is Oxford 0, Cambridge 12, as we come up to the half-hour point. And Sue Day, former England captain, with us here on BBC Sport. Just how important is it now for Oxford to try and find something before half-time?
Really important. Psychologically, you want to go in at half-time feeling positive, feeling like you've created something, and so far it really has been all Cambridge. Oxford have dominated at times at the breakdown, but other than that, it's been the Cambridge midfield that's made the ground. It's been the Cambridge forwards, players like Charlton who've made the bullocking runs through the middle. Oxford really need to get some go forward.
Well, Oxford are going to restart this with 14 because down at the moment is Abigail Willett at the back, is receiving a bit of treatment, but they do have to get things underway. Gathered on the far side by our second try scorer, Gibson, who goes down to ground. Gibson did actually play some rugby at Nottingham University before she went to Cambridge as well, so she does have a little bit of time under her belt. Elmarie Van Heeren there taking the ball into contact, but knocks on the ball.
Yeah, a couple of knock-ons there. Sarah Cox was trying to play advantage, but a knock-on from Oxford after the Cambridge knock-on, and as we've said before, Oxford have to try and get this ball in and out of the scrummage as quickly as possible. It's getting to De Grint's feet at the back, but she's not quite managing to get control of it, to be able to pick it up, because there's so much pressure coming through from
It's hard
Cambridge.
when you're going backwards that quickly.
It really is.
It really is a tricky prospect that the Dutch number 8, Jassa van de Grient, is having to deal with here at every Oxford scrum. She's there, she's got her hands out straight away. She's almost dropping her binding straight away and just scooping that ball out as quickly as she can. This is good. This is an opportunity for Oxford. Ball comes away, that's gone backwards. Referee says play on. It's gone through the hands. Potts now has it. This is better from Oxford. Bliss, desperate to get the ball, manages to find Willett, who's back and involved. Good work also by the flanker down this near side.
That's stolen, that's fine.
Loose on the
No,
ground.
blue one, stay.
Is it going to be turnover ball for Cambridge? It comes up in the light blue direction, but Elgar gets tussled out towards this near side, and we'll restart with a Cambridge line. Sorry, Oxford lineup.
For everyone.
Good work in defence from Oxford that time. It was Ellen O'Connell again getting the tackle in, but this backline move has got Gary Street, former England coach, written all over it. The shield pass going out to the fast players on the outside, but they couldn't get around the outside of the Cambridge defence. A really good attacking opportunity though, if Oxford can get their hands on the ball at this line out.
Time off, please. Right. Numbers need to be
Let's
sorted
have a listen
quicker.
to the ref.
You guys need to call that louder. Centre of the line out, please. You guys stay straight. Ladies, 10, that's what she's marking over there, okay? Time back on.
Well, there you go. Referee Sarah Cox just making sure everything is ship-shape and proper as Bidgood just finds her woman there in that line out. And Oxford under a lot of pressure there. Did get the ball, but it's been stolen by Cambridge as it came down there as they tried to get that rolling maul working. Off and away it comes now. So Cambridge have the ball inside of their own half. That little opportunity there from Oxford. The door's been closed and taken on now by Wilson. Hugely frustrating for Oxford. They finally thought they had a little something there, but it's back in Cambridge hands.
Yeah, she's stolen. There, the ball is stolen. That's fine, Blue, hands on.
This is very good refereeing, we have to say, by Sarah Cox, because you have to remember a lot of these women are learning the game at the same time as playing, and she's doing very well to talk them through and explain them everything as it goes. And again, this is another Oxford opportunity. Bliss has the ball out towards this near side. Can we do something down this near side? It's Helen Potts who has it. She's going to be dragged into touch. But good ground again by Oxford, and when they get it now, they are making distance.
Yeah, they're starting to move the ball into the open spaces, Oxford, which is exactly what we know Gary Street wants them to do there. It was Carly Bliss through the hands, Sophie Trott, and then finally Helen Potts out there, but there were about 4 defenders on top of her, bundling her into touch, but they're making ground now. Good attacking opportunity if they can challenge at this line out.
You just saw there on your screen on the right hand side, that was Gary Street, who is coaching Oxford, former England coach. He was joined there in the coaching box by Ali Mortimer, who works at Henley, who's been helping in the build-up to this Varsity. Advantage then to Oxford. Bit of miscommunication at the line-up there for Cambridge.
Right, leave it.
Penalty for Oxford, and this is their best platform there they have had throughout this match. Jack Baird there on your screen. The coach of Cambridge looks on, knowing his team are really under pressure for the first time then in this Varsity clash. Taken on then, it's Pika. She's gone in very upright and she's waited for support to arrive. Oxford into the Cambridge 22 for the first time.
White. There it is.
Loose out the back, Van Heeren has it. She goes round the corner. Is this the opportunity that the dark blues needed? Out into the hands, taken on now by Robinson.
There, leave White 8.
This is better by Oxford. What can they do with it? Wilcock has it. She gets it down to Copley. Quickly plays backwards, and they need quick ball as well. Bidgood now. She's a former flanker as well as a hooker. She loves a bit of contact. Popped out ball now. Oxford going the wrong way. They haven't got numbers there, and they're going backwards as well. Bliss trying to find a platform to send the ball on. She's under intense pressure there. Ball comes away. It's going through full-back Trott, who does well there not to lose the ball there as she was slammed down to the Twickenham turf. Oh, Bliss, if she'd have just got that a little bit quicker, she might have been able to snipe round there.
Yeah, Oxford got a little outnumbered at the breakdown. Potts came in first of all and managed to clear it, but then Cambridge counter-rucked brilliantly. That's what led to the penalty. Carly Bliss having to come in at the side to try and secure the ball, and a chance for Cambridge to clear the lines, exactly what they wanted.
Well, cleared down this near side then. Let's watch this run again here by Trott on this near side.
You stay on my mark, please.
Huge pressure, and yeah, Carly Bliss just couldn't get that ball quick enough.
Ladies, numbers need to come quicker for these guys, please.
So, Cambridge ball then, inside of their own half by 10 metres. They're leading 12-0 here in the 29th Varsity. I should also say that of the previous 28, Oxford have won 18, Cambridge have won 10. So Cambridge trying to start address that balance if they can get victory here at Twickenham today. This is very slow ball. It's been stolen by Oxford, but the referee's going to blow for a penalty.
That's twice now. Your players are coming in at the side.
Oxford have to be careful. That's the second warning by referee Cox. Ball's off and away. Loopy pass. Managed to get to Reed. The double blue in both rugby and rowing. Great run there by Jess Charlton. Absolutely bulldozing over the top of the Oxford players. Donaldson, good support, comes in again.
That's it, Leaf.
Thorne. Donaldson again. Down the line, McNally. She feeds to Middleton. Middleton did still have outside her, and it's Gibson now, but she didn't get ball quick enough. Now it's McNally. McNally's slightly isolated, but then Donaldson arrives. Loose down on the ground, knocked on. Oxford managed to gather the ball. Peaker again, that was forward.
Yep,
I think Peaker was desperate to get rid of that one.
Okay,
Definitely forward. Not going to fool Sarah Cox with that one. I think it will be Oxford ball anyway because the ball went forward. But this lovely handling from Cambridge. So first of all, the shield pass to give Anna Wilson time, then it just goes through the hands. Emily Stone comes a little bit out of the line for Oxford, which gives Cambridge the space, but they recycle themselves so well in attack, Cambridge, so there's always the extra player on the outside.
Well, Cecilia Peaker is down at the moment. We'll just watch this last move again. This was the run by Jess Charlton, who is making some great ground there for Cambridge in the forwards. She's had a good morning/afternoon so far.
She has. She's really showing the other players the way to do it. Into contact, don't stop into contact, which we've seen from a couple of the players, but really driving through contact.
Well, Cecilia Peaker is just trying to walk off that hip injury. She went down quite heavily on it before, and she's trying to walk it off. I mean, it's the thing, you don't want to come off in the varsity match, do you, Sue?
No, once you're off, you're off. She'd absolutely want to stay on the pitch. It's nearly half-time, a couple of minutes to half-time now, so she'll want to carry on till then. A bit of a chance at half-time to stretch it off, put a bit of ice on it, whatever the physio wants to do. So a couple of minutes for her just to survive.
2 minutes to go then until half-time in the women's varsity, the first to be played here at Twickenham, live here on the BBC Sport website and on the red button. Scrum far side of the field.
Set.
It's an Oxford ball. Ball very quickly picked up there by Yasser van der Grink, comes down the line. In the hands of Wilcott there. Great line of running there, flying in there by Oxford.
Hands out wide, Leaf.
Bliss looks up. Wilcock is there. Down the line it comes. Loose ball in the air. If Oxford could just hold on to that. A little bit more confidence under pressure in those contact situations.
Yeah, and a little bit of experience. The time then was to not throw speculative pass out. But let's watch this first, though. Oxford do really well at this scrummage because it's going backwards. Really, really good combinations between Stone, Bliss and Van der Green.
Ladies, we've got scrum, let's go.
But then in the end, there was just the last pass out of contact when all they really needed to do was take it into contact, set up the next ruck. They're doing well in the breakdown. As it is, it's given the ball back to the light blues.
Well, it was
Emily.
Emily.
No, it hasn't.
Bind.
Sorry. It was Emily Stone there with that brilliant run to take it into contact. Straight off the training park and working very effectively. And Van der Grink decides to take on the contact herself this time. The Dutch woman making her way down to the turf. Bliss then decides to send Van Heeren forward. Wilcock. Copley, who's under big pressure there, gets the ball back, but it bounced off forwards. So we'll come back for a Cambridge scrum.
So close for Oxford. Copley had a look, just winding up to make the pass out into the open spaces and got nailed in defence. Out. The Oxford handling pretty good, but there you see Anna Wilson just gets up on her too quickly enough, and the referee spotted that. I'm afraid the little knock forward from Leanne Robinson.
Would that be the advice to Oxford, perhaps at half-time, to say, when you got the ball, just take it into contact, don't panic?
Set.
Yeah, take the ball forward. So at the moment there's a bit of sideways running, there's a bit of speculative offloading out of contact. Just take the ball forward. You can't go wrong if you do that.
Knocked on there at the base there by Thorne for Cambridge. Now the clock has gone. Will the referee let this scrum go? I think she is going to play this one. So we will have one last scrum here of the first half. And perhaps the last opportunity here for Oxford to try and do something.
Yeah, and if they can win good ball at this scrum, Oxford, there's a huge amount of open space on this near side, blind side. Defending very deep, Caroline Reid.
Please don't drop to your knees like that, okay? Ladies, wait till the ball comes in, please.
Well, that's good advice also there by Sarah Cox. I've only watched one of the Oxford scrummage sessions earlier this week. We were all learning about their body positions, their tower of power. For anyone who's done the RFU coaching courses out there, there's a lot of pressure going out on the far side of that Oxford scrum. They've dealt with that well there, and there's space here. The ball comes away down this near side. Helen Potts has it once again. She does well there in the contact, places the ball back nicely. Bliss now gets the ball back to Wilcock. She's got support in from Robinson. Van Heeren takes it on again. Loose ball forward there by Bliss. And that is half-time here in the first women's varsity at Twickenham. And it's Cambridge who have the advantage here. They lead 12-0. The women will stay out on the park for half-time, which will be 5 minutes. And alongside us here, for BBC Sport on the red button and also on the BBC Sport website, we have former England captain Sue Day and also former Oxford Blue. Now, Sue, while we've got this opportunity, before we talk through the match, just explain when you played the varsity what it was like, because it was not like this.
It wasn't like this. So in terms of excitement, in terms of pressure, in terms of how special it was, no different at all really. The varsity match is the pinnacle of the season. It's what you play for, it's what everyone makes a fuss about. But we played on a pitch at Grange Road in Cambridge. There were probably as many people as this watching. It was hugely popular. Everybody came out to watch it. But what I would have given to play in a stadium like this for that game, absolutely amazing.
You did get to play here a few times for England, Sue.
Yeah, I did get to play a few times for England. 2003, the first time that we played here against France at Twickenham. Such a special day. And as I walked down the tunnel earlier before the match started and spoke briefly to Gary Street, talked about the fact that it doesn't matter what day you're arriving here, what game it's for, the feeling of walking through the tunnel at Twickenham, there's nothing quite like it.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Well, both teams out now in the centre of the park. You can just see they're talking on the right-hand side of the screen to his Oxford players. That is Gary Street there. You're just having a little chat with them, talking through some tactics. Alongside him, with the slightly bald head there, you can see Ali Mortimer, who will be talking to the forwards shortly. You can just see he's having a little bit of a word there with the front row. I think he's actually having a little word there with Sophie Bean, who's the loose head there for Oxford. And I think there's also a little bit of treatment going on to a couple of players from both sides as well. On the left-hand side of the field, Cambridge is still out there at the moment. They've got their arms linked around each other and just going through a few things with their coach. The gentleman with the glasses in the centre, that is Jack Baird. Now, he's actually got a very good pedigree in women's rugby. He's done a lot of work with Richmond Rugby Club and worked with their main coach, Karen Findlay, quite a lot. As I said, he's also worked with London and South East under-18s girls. He's been doing that for over 5 years. He's also done a bit of work with the Worcester Warriors as a performance analysis coach. That was during his time at university. And it's actually very nice, Sue, because I spoke to Jack earlier in the week and he was telling me how important it was for him to actually get a female on his coaching staff. He says he wants more women to get involved in coaching, but he really struggled. So he did actually manage to persuade Anna Stotter to get involved. She's played at Saracen. She's also in the Scottish setup, and it's great that he's had the know-how to know how to do that.
I couldn't agree with him more. It's so important to get women into all parts of the game, into talking about it like us, into coaching it like Anna out there, and into the admin side of the game, and of course out there playing on the pitch. So brilliant that he's encouraging women to play, and it's something I know the RFU are looking at more and more, how to get current and former players into the game to coach as well.
Well, both teams have got about another minute or so before we get the second half underway here. Gary Street is now making his way back to his seat. Also there, Jack Baird, he's also going to make his way back up into the stands as well. So let's look back at the two tries we saw in the first half. They were both for Cambridge. The first came through Alice Middleton. It was good work from the forwards, though, that set up the platform.
It was great work from the forwards, then quick ball, and then it's all about the hands of the midfield. Wilson to McNally to Middleton, who in the end, all she had to really do was fall over the try line. But we'd seen Wilson ball carrying so much up to that point. Then just really good, simple hand from the centre, so the defence had no chance at all.
Well, this was the second try, and it was a real backs effort, you have to say, for this one, to get ready for Lara Gibson to fly over. 22-year-old, she's got a great sprinting style on her, lovely long strides to get over the line.
Yeah, it's a really good finish from her, and it was the Cambridge players recycling themselves, getting more players out there than Oxford. In the end, Lara Gibson just pins her ears back, sprints over the try line. Sophie Trott couldn't catch her, nor could Catherine Whitlock. What a feeling.
Just looking there, you can see the steely eyes there of Lara Gibson, just listening intently there to her captain of the last bit of advice before we get the second half underway here. Now, if you are watching this thinking, do you know, I'd like to have a go at rugby. It doesn't matter if you're in Scotland, England, Wales or Northern Ireland. Just go to your National Union's website. If you're in Scotland, or if you're in England, go to the Club Finder section. If you're in Wales, go to the Join the Beat section. And if you're in Ireland, go to the club section. They all have postcode finders or they have town finders. Just go in, put in where you live, and you can find a women's club near you. If you're a man, you can find a man's club as well.
And I highly, highly recommend it. You'll never have more fun and more camaraderie than out there on a rugby pitch.
Well, yes, I was actually speaking to Cambridge a lot about what they'd been up to and how they'd been introducing all these new players into their squad. And maybe I'll share some of those stories with you in this second half. But let's get things underway. The second half then of the women's varsity at Twickenham, kicked off by Oxford. It's Cambridge who lead 12-0 here after the first half. Of course, it is the men's varsity coming up a little bit later this afternoon. 2:30 kick-off there. Ball comes away then. Good pick up there by Donaldson, right round her ankles. Cambridge ball on the far side. Cambridge the light blues, Oxford the dark blues. McNally. Big run coming round the corner there by Kira Scott. Good scrummaging, good rucking there coming in by Cambridge. A little bit isolated, but all the right moves. Banner. Very tight, tricky situation that Cambridge trying to work their way out of, and it's Oxford who have picked up the ball, who are looking a little bit more lively. They've really grown into this match. Pika, who was struggling with her hip there in that first half, seems to still be going strong here. Robinson on the ground, popped up ball. Wilcock manages to get it to Copley, who does the right thing, puts her head down, goes forward. Bliss. Bidgood. Popped up ball again. Nice work coming in here by Abigail Willett, who sets up the ball. Van Heeren now. She's from South Africa. She said she wasn't really encouraged to play when she was in South Africa, but ever since she's been here, she has loved it. Little kick over the head there. Nice stuff by Wilcock. Gathers it herself. Nice bit of skill there by Wilcock. She needs some support though. She's got the platform. Comes in from Copley. A flying run now by Mel Grant. This is better stuff by Oxford. They've been rejuvenated now. Comes forward. Copley can't gather. She does eventually take it down into contact on this near side.
Hands out, White. Ladies, drop back, please. Drop back.
A little bit of a warning there for the defensive line of Cambridge to make sure that they're onside there by referee Sarah Cox.
Please, White.
A little bit of a high body position there, and it's the maul. She just gives the first warning there. Bliss looks up, sees Wilcock there again. She's quickly wrapped up. She's not too tight though, and charge down comes away. Cambridge needs to set this up platform and try and get this ball away. Once again, Weckman taking it on. A real captain's performance so far from her. fellow second row, Laura Nunes-Mulder.
No, leave it 3, Blue.
Still Cambridge ball, still trying to work their way out of their own half. Withers once again rolls across the ground, gets that nice long body position, ball comes away again. McNally, she is so good at straightening things up, McNally, and it gives space for people like Middleton to go off and away. The support finally did arrive though. Again, it's Middleton who makes the ground, and a lot of the ground Middleton is making is by those lovely straight lines by her outside centre. Once again, Charlton, another forward with a busy afternoon. Wilson just having to go backwards there. She gives the ball to Withers. She's got a best friend with her there, Hannah Cooper. He's going to dive over the top and help out her buddy, both of them at Fitzwilliam College. Nice pop up there by Wetman into the hands of Scott.
Sit, stay.
Slow and steady work here by Cambridge.
Slow and steady in about 1 million phases so far. Centres combining well, aren't they, for Cambridge?
And it's still Cambridge, they're slowly making their way forwards
No, leave
with
it 8, Blue, leave it.
really racking up the phases here, but they're holding on to the ball. There doesn't seem to be any panic. Another big run by Wilson, and is this the opportunity? Reed has it, down on the ground. They just need to slightly try and stretch Oxford here. They're going to try and flood that far side channel. Scott has it out to the far side. Middleton again, she's already got 1 try in this Varsity. You feel perhaps she may have another one in her somewhere. Cooper, popped off ball, taken on by Elgar, just outside of the 22.
Lost, Blue, hands out.
Thorne looks up, manages to find Wilson. She comes away with it. Loose ball, well picked up by McNally, out to this far side. It's Gibson, can she go over for number 2? It's good backtracking there by Oxford. Can Cambridge get the quick ball they need? This is great counter-rucking by Oxford, but it came away through Cambridge. It's Cooper who has it. Down on the ground, Thorne looks up, support is there, it's coming through Elgar, white line feeder here for Cambridge, it's been knocked on, they've gone over, the referee has given it, Chloe Withers goes over. We don't have a television match official. I'm going to say the try has been given, Sude.
The try's certainly been given, and that Sarah Cox, the referee, said the ball didn't go forward, so there's nothing wrong with that. That, when you think about it, is an absolutely phenomenal try. It may not have been spectacular at the end here. The ball popped out of the contact, and the referee says not gone forward. So if there's no ball's not gone forward, it's a really easy pickup over the line. But think about the amount of phases that went into that try. I think it probably does go forward there, knocks into one of the Oxford players. So unlucky for Oxford, but Cambridge made that by stringing together dozens of phases, and that is no exaggeration. They went all the way from their defensive 22 through the phases, kept their patience, and ended up scoring a try almost under the post. Absolutely phenomenal, patient rugby from Cambridge.
Well, it was eventually finished off by Chloe Withers, and then the extras added by Alice Middleton. I think the Oxford coach, Gary Street, might be slightly frustrated with that try, but I think Cambridge, shall we say, are getting the rub of the green.
Yeah, it's true. Look, that probably was a knock-on, but the fact is Cambridge created the opportunity by playing such patient rugby through so many phases up to that point.
Well, we will see some replacements coming shortly here. Both sides will no doubt want to use their benches, because let's face it, for every woman who's out on the bench out there, they will want to get on. There is Gary Street. He's looking on with a slightly steely stare. He looks calm at the moment.
He always looks calm. Who knows what's going on underneath?
Well, here we go. There is a change here, and it's an interesting one, actually. Coming onto the field there is Sophie Farrant, and coming off is Lara Gibson, one of the try scorers there for Cambridge. And also coming on here is Helen Lamb for Oxford. Now, she is actually the Oxford club president, and she's coming on for Cecilia Pecker, who's had a very tough afternoon out there with her hit. She's fought on admirably, but it's now a chance for Helen Lamb to take over duties.
Yeah, and a great moment for the club president to get on the pitch and relieve her injured colleague.
So Oxford under the cosh here. It's Oxford 0, Cambridge 19. There's 32 minutes left to play. And I tell you what, Oxford have been a much better side the longer that this match has gone on for.
It's gone back.
There's a Bidford just drops the ball there. Referee happy it's gone backwards. Great little dancing feet going in there by Emily Stone.
Hands out, White, hands out!
You do feel that when she gets the ball, things can happen. Wilcox popped off ball to Ellen O'Connell, putting her body on the line there as she flies into contact, but Cambridge steal the ball illegally.
O'Connell's been fantastic for Oxford all afternoon, making tackles and carrying the ball. No way of the defence retreats.
Are we going to see
there.
a card here?
Seconds.
Cooper.
8 and captain, just come here, please.
I don't think she's going to give a card. She's just going to explain why she's going to blow her whistle.
I really need you to retreat hard back, okay?
Yeah,
good decision.
Simple communication from the
Got time off
referee.
for injury here.
You
Yeah,
know
no
what
worries,
10
no
is,
worries.
I know what 10 is, and that is not 10, is what she's saying.
Well, it was Hannah Cooper there. Got in a little bit of trouble there with referee Sarah Cox. And Hannah Cooper, she's a former rower, and she's down now. You can see on your screen that's Carly Bliss, who's gone down and receiving treatment. Now, Carly Bliss is a very important player. I don't know if she's just been winded, as she takes on just a bit of fluid there for Oxford, and I can tell you what, they will be desperate for her to stay on the field.
Yeah, they'll give her all the time she needs. An important player, an experienced player, the player who really makes things happen for this Oxford team. Looks like she's all right, and they seem to have a penalty move called here. Ball going to the big ball-carrying front row.
Big good, manages to put the ball back to Bliss. Bliss manages to give it to Van Heeren. She puts the body back down to the ground. Bliss once again looks up, support arrives. Robinson. Bliss switching the direction. Van Heeren has it. It's actually taken on in the end by Copley.
Their ball's available.
Wilcock. Robinson out to the far side. It's Stone. She's got support on the far side by Potts. Oh, is that forward? Referee says play on. Stone has it once again out to the far side, into touch. Again, you do feel that Oxford do still have something here.
Yeah, lovely combinations between Stone and Potts there. Emily Stone, you said it before, when she gets her hands on the ball, always makes something happen. The pass and then the loop, getting herself back into the game, always calling for the ball, always making herself available. In the end, she couldn't keep the ball on the pitch,
Ladies,
but very threatening running from Oxford there.
Well, Emily Stone, born in Pembury, she went to the Judd Grammar School in Kent. Cambridge now, who run the ball forward through Nunez Mulder. Real pressure put under Wilson there to try and clear that kick away. Not caught cleanly, but all backwards, so referee Cox says play on, and Potts has it down the far side wing. She's trying to go down to ground. She has to let go. It's our South African lock for Oxford, Elmari Van Heeren, 28 years old, studying for a PhD in engineering as the ball comes away. There's numbers on this near side, they can't get the pass. Now it's Ellie Copley who has it. She passes it to Robinson. Ellen O'Connell with a speculative spin of the ball away.
First knock on came from White.
Oxford just get too excited.
Much better from Oxford. They're finally creating chances, not finished them off, I grant you, but creating chances, really challenging the Cambridge defence here. The Cambridge defence really narrow, and Oxford nearly get around the outside of it. Probably if Emily Stone had the ball in two hands there and managed to get the ball into the hands of Mel Grant, they'd have had a really good chance, but you can't fault Emily Stone too much. She's had such a strong afternoon, but a great attacking opportunity for Oxford down the blind side here.
Ball goes in, it's going backwards again. Once again, Van de Green under pressure, and they're going that exactly the way Souday said. Ball through the hands, out to the far side. It's Potts who's got it, dragged down on the 22. Bliss, Wilcock, Willett. Look at her working the hard yards there, driving the legs, getting as close to the 22 as she can. Van de Grient. still going, refusing to be tackled.
That's it, 6 out.
Bliss. Willett again. Kelly Copley. Getting busier and busier now as the afternoon goes on. Holding on the ground by Oxford. Penalty for Cambridge, and all that hard work back into Cambridge hands.
Yeah, just a little bit isolated at the breakdown, Helena Copley, wasn't she? And Cambridge managed to get in and get their hands on the ball. So disappointing for Oxford.
Oh, well, Cambridge missed their touch, but Oxford missed the ball, and so Cambridge, they get a little bit of a free pass there. They get a little bit of extra 10 metres, and they're going to get the line out on this near side, 10 metres inside of the Oxford half. And this is the first real attack we'll see from Cambridge in this second half.
Yeah, interesting to see what they've got to launch off this line out. But it has, Oxford have done so well since Cambridge has scored that try. Oxford have done so well to regroup and to be on top really for the first time in the game. They'll be disappointed they didn't get points out of it, but will take great heart from the amount of pressure they've just been managing to put on.
Kira Scott throwing the ball to the front there for Cambridge. Ball just been popped away. Nice move there by Cambridge. McNally has it. They've got numbers out there. Can they use them? It's Alice Middleton again. She has been well tackled. Great effort going in there by Stone to stop her in her tracks. Still Cambridge ball, far side of the field.
Blue. Out of the way. Ball's available.
Thorne. Scott, who takes it in once again. Popped off. Cooper now. Route 1, happy for the contact.
Drop back, drop back, drop back.
Back down the line. McNally, nice pop ball backwards. Middleton has it, gets the pass away. Going forward is Farrant. First real touch we've seen from Farrant since she came on in this second half. Banner.
They're attacking her, hands out, 6 hands out.
Thorne. Wilson. Fancies it herself, thinks she can see a chink of daylight in that Oxford defence.
Hands out, rucks formed.
Nunez Mulder. Cambridge
That's it, blue
has now got down into the 22. And are perhaps eyeing up try number 4. Popped off ball once again. It's the Canadian captain again. Weckman down to ground. 10 metres to go for Cambridge. Wilson. Again, she thinks she can go herself. She goes along with 2 Oxford players being dragged behind her.
Leave it! No, leave it! She's gone into the side. If you'd left it, we'd have...
And Carly Bliss was told to leave the ball there by referee Sarah Cox. Comes away now, it's still Cambridge. They're trying to get it away. Going forward, it's still Withers. Can it be try number 2 for Withers? There is a body there straight away. Great work by Oxford to stop that one going over. Taken on now by Jess Charlton. Cambridge sniffing out try number 4 here. Loose ball's gone backwards though. Penalty to Cambridge. That was the warning.
Yeah, the referee was playing advantage all the way through that, but what defence from Oxford to hold that up.
Big decision here. They've not gone for the scrum. They need to get it out quickly. McNally, white line feeder, Middleton, try number 2. Over she goes. What an afternoon it has been for Dr. Alice Middleton.
It was coming, wasn't it? Cambridge building the pressure again. And in the end, it was that midfield combination. Wilson, McNally, Middleton have been so strong in that space. They're all lurking out there when the ball comes out. It goes McNally to Middleton this time. Nice and low she gets. There, the pop out of the contact. All Middleton's got to do is dive low, and the Oxford defence has no chance.
This was the first opportunity that Cambridge had where we thought Chloe Withers might be the one to score a second try of the Varsity for an individual, but in the end it turned out to be Alice Middleton.
It was a lovely offload, wasn't it, from McNally to Middleton. All Middleton had to do was pick the ball up as she'd already pretty much started her dive through. It's a long old road back for Oxford now, really to get back into the game. They needed to score when they had that period of pressure a few minutes ago.
Well, the conversion is successful, but we do also have a Cambridge player who's down receiving a little bit of treatment for cramp. We have also had a change for Cambridge. Isla Donegan is on the field at play, coming off his Townsend banner. It was actually very sweet. I was keeping an eye on Donegan as she came on. She actually ran onto the pitch and jumped into all of the team's arms as if to say, I'm on, I'm on. And I don't blame you, Isla Donegan, because if I was playing at Twickenham, I'd do exactly the same thing.
It's such a moment. You played in the varsity match, played at Twickenham, quite right. She should be overexcited. Now she just needs to get her hands on the rugby ball.
Great take there by Weckman, the captain for Cambridge. And I tell you what, Jack Baird, the Cambridge captain, has said one of the best decisions he's made all season was making Weckman captain. He said it was the easiest phone call he's ever made. He said she's so organised, she's so calm, and she's a great influence on her whole squad. Oh, nearly stopped there by Mel Grant. She had all the right ideas there, but still Cambridge find their touch.
And the captain selection is such an important one, especially on an occasion like this. You know, varsity matches are so nerve-wracking as it is, but then to add the whole Twickenham thing on top of that really asks a lot of the players and really asks a lot of the captain. So you want somebody who's calm, you want somebody who's just going to keep people's mind on the job, and Cambridge have certainly had their mind on the job all afternoon so far.
Oh, sneaky little line-out move there by Cambridge, but they couldn't follow it up. Oh, nice and short to the front. You can see there Kira Scott, who's at the front there. She's throwing the ball in, even though she's got one on her back, but she can't take the ball back. So it goes straight back to Oxford.
Yeah, she's gutted with that. You could see what they were trying to do. Clever little training ground move, didn't quite come off.
Well, that's gone to no one, so it's a chase on the floor. Managed to go into the arms of Robinson for Cambridge. It's Van Heeren who now has it.
Stay legal, White.
In a tricky body position as well. They need to get that ball to the back of that maul, and Withers is in there causing all kinds of problems. It goes down to ground.
Good.
Still on the Oxford side. They've done well to hold on to that. Pop back ball, Donaldson.
Back off her
Off
foot.
the floor.
That's it, ball's there.
Loose on the ground, and Cambridge really pushing Oxford here, who were going backwards.
Backwards.
Caroline Reid just really struggling to find a little bit of go forward here, and once again it's Middleton who's going to straighten things up here for Cambridge. You can really tell she's played a lot of rugby.
Yeah, making good decisions, always takes the ball forward, always gets over the game, and always gets in front of her forwards, which is so important for a fullback.
Hands out, blue 5, hands out.
Eyes up, scanning the whole time, Middleton, looking where the support will be. Back down the line it goes, knock on by McNally. And we'll restart with an Oxford scrum, far side of the field. It's starting to fill up here a little bit at Twickenham now. It's a big day out for everyone at Oxford and Cambridge University. This is the first women's varsity match we're seeing here. You can see plenty of fans there as they go and see their faces on the big screen. So a triple change here for Cambridge. Coming off there, you can see Kira Scott coming off, also Alice Elgar, Chloe Withers coming off as well. Bethany Randall, she's just come on there. You can just see the back there.
Time on.
So also Lucy Sutcliffe on, and also I think it's Charlotte Edgley there as well. And of course, as we say, you want to get on the pitch. You want to play at Twickenham. There's lots of hugs going on down on the Cambridge bench at the moment as they all come off saying, well done, we just played at Twickenham. Wasn't it brilliant? Oxford come away with the ball there. Carly Bliss manages to get the pop pass. Nice work there. As Sophie Trott comes in once again. She's got no one on her outside shoulder. She thought she had a bit more space. Cambridge had it. Hard work coming in straight away now by Bethany Randall. She's got 20 on her back and she's come into play scrum half. Back down the line, McNally can't quite connect with that. It's gone into the arms of Middleton. Again, she's going to straighten things up. Manages to get the pop off to Pat Farrant. Slowly goes down to the turf. And Randall once again. She's going to have a busy 20 minutes now that she's on.
They're lost through. Use it, please.
Support comes in round the corner, and again, good work by Cambridge, knowing to wait for the support to arrive before they go off and away. Randall. Nunez Mulder on the ground. No scrum half there, so in the end it's Edgley who has to call in for a bit more support to get it round the corner. Donaldson with the ball, finds Wilson. Incredible work, you have to say, by Wilson. Another one who's been very busy for Cambridge. Just keeping the game nice and tidy. Straight down the centre. Hannah Cooper now.
That's it, lost 8, blue hands out.
Cambridge have already scored 4 tries. Will this be number 5? Tricky body position there for Caroline Reid to try and get the ball back from. Once again, Randall does manage to clear it away. Nunez Mulder really slapped down onto the grass there. Randall looks up. Donaldson is there. Randall to Wilson, to McNally. Farrant has it. Middleton can't connect this time, but she gets it as it bounces back into her arms. Approaches the 22. Loose ball, and it's Bidgood there, the hooker for Oxford, who manages to gather the ball. Working the hard yards. Once again, it's Oxford. They've got a big task here. And it's kind of getting to the point now in the game, we have to say, Sue, where perhaps Oxford are now playing for pride. It would be nice to see some points on the board for them because they deserve it.
Yeah, it's a long way back for Oxford. 26-0 down with 20 minutes to go. Very, very tough for them, but they have managed to put the pressure on at times. They have managed to create chances. So yes, you're right. It would be good to see them put one of those away.
Big kick comes in then by Wilcock. It's going to bounce back. Oh, Lewson manages to bobble out towards this near side. Was it touched by a Cambridge player is the question.
Time off.
No, it was not, so it will still be a Cambridge put-in. We're going to have another few changes here
2,
for
4,
both sides.
And 6. 2, 4 and 6. Sorry. White number 11.
So we're going to have a change, 3
now,
changes here. Coming on is Anna Bidgood is coming off for Oxford. Also coming off is Leanne Robinson. And also Abigail Willett.
White 11. Yeah, she's coming.
And Sophie Taylor is going to be coming on. Big opportunity here for Sophie Taylor, studying experimental psychology, born in Bath. The change also there, Heather Britton is coming on also, meaning Caroline Reid is coming off. Her time on the television, she's had a lot of it already after the boat race, will now be on the bench.
It's good to see both coaches making a lot of changes and giving all of the players a chance. If the game were tighter, we probably wouldn't see that. But given it's 26-0, given the results probably already decided, it's only the right thing to do to give all of these players a taste of this amazing occasion.
We're waiting for a scrum here, and we've got pretty fresh front rows now for both sides as they start to go into this. If you do want to watch more men's and women's rugby here at Twickenham and you think, oh, I can't ever get to the Six Nations, well, I tell you what, why don't you come along to the British Universities Colleges and Sports Rugby Championship Finals. That's here on the 23rd of March here at Twickenham, and that will be the best 2 men's and the best 2 women's universities going at it hammer and tongs at the end of the regular rugby season. Ball comes away now into Oxford hands. Donaldson. The ball gets popped off and away. Stone has it. She did well to hold on to that. But it has eventually gone forward, and is this the chance that Cambridge wanted? A little kick through there by Wilson. She thinks she can see space. She's hunting down the ball. Stone again goes back to try and gather it. I think Stone might have slightly hurt herself down on the ground there. She's holding on to her shin. Play continues. Randall has it, and Stone is still down on the ground for Oxford. That will be a worry for them. Cooper.
5 tackle and move, good.
Jess Charlton there with the covering rucking, trying to help out Randall there, who's playing scrum half. Back down the line, McNally gets the ball out, Farrant is there. She's going to try and hand off as much as she can, but there's too many Oxford players there. She's still going. Still going. Sophie Farrant eventually goes down to ground 4 metres short of the line. Cambridge, Withers.
Tackle only.
Randall again, eyes up, looking forward. Big run coming in here, flying through is Charlotte Edgley. She can't quite edge over.
Nice stay.
Randall tries to switch direction, Withers doesn't think so. They've got numbers out on that far side. Do they need them? No, they don't. They go over again. Cambridge get try number 5. Lots of hugs, lots of cuddles. Look at the crowd. That was a great outfit we saw there. Claire Donaldson going over for Cambridge, try number 5. It's Oxford 0, Cambridge 31. I think it was Wilson actually that went over.
Yeah, I think it was Wilson in the end who got on the end of that. The ball goes one way, comes back the other way, and Wilson, who spent so much of the day making ground and then passing off to her teammates, this time she's the one that gets the glory, just cuts inside, evades a couple of tackles and gets over the line.
Well, Anna Wilson, this is her second blue. She can play 10 or 12. You've seen a lot of her kicking out there this afternoon. She's got that footballing background which has helped her so much. She's a 6th year vet studying at Jesus, but once again it's Alice Middleton who's stepping up for the conversion. It's not the prettiest style, but hey, it works.
They all count as long as they go over and between the posts, and you can see why Cambridge have selected Anna Wilson at 12, despite the fact she can play 10. She's such a strong ball carrier, really gives them an option outside 10 just to pop the ball, get over the gain line. You can see that try there just shows her ball carrying ability and her strength through the tackle.
Well, there's going to be another couple of changes here for Cambridge. Coming off is Chloe Withers and also Lara Nunez Mulder. Coming on is Laura Bateman and Olivia Probert.
All done. Time on.
13 minutes left of the women's varsity. The first to be played here at Twickenham between Oxford and Cambridge women. And Oxford, they deserve some points. Can they get them? They need to find a way to that Cambridge try line. But we've got a breakaway here. Cambridge going forward with the ball, and they've managed to get all the way to the halfway after a great restart. It was a long kick by Oxford. Loose ball down on the ground, and Olivia Probert, who's only just come on, getting involved straight away.
Leave it!
Edgley, who's been very busy since she came on. Good support in there also as Cooper took on the ball. Sophie Trott is off now for Oxford. Duffy is on, and once again it's Wilson who's on fire. Wilson's still going. She's just scored a try. She wants another. Going for the line. Wilson goes over. 2 tries in the space of 2 minutes. Anna Wilson, what an afternoon.
What a try to score at Twickenham. A real solo effort. She's worked so hard for the team this afternoon, putting the hard yards in, but this one was all about her. This was all about Anna Wilson. A full 55 metres, darting in and out. The tackle's falling off her. She's looking for the pass. She doesn't need to make it. She goes under the post. What an amazing feeling that will be to score a try like that at Twickenham.
Anna Wilson, she had the support there, but they just couldn't tackle her. She absolutely refused to go down. Worked hard, kept going, straight line. Sometimes route 1 is the best.
Yeah, and because she had the ball in 2 hands at certain points, the defence thought that she was going to pass the ball off, so kept moving off her and leaving the space. It's been an exhausting afternoon for Oxford. They've done so much defending. At this time, you get to about 10 minutes to go and you're absolutely exhausted. Oxford starting to fall off the tackles. It all came from the last Oxford kickoff. They chased it so badly, missed a few tackles. That's what got Cambridge the pitch position. Oxford starting to get really tired. Lovely, lovely finish though from Anna Wilson.
Well, Middleton there got the conversion, and you have to say the scoreline I think is slightly unfair on Oxford still at the moment. It's 40-0, but that doesn't do service to what Oxford have actually achieved, and they've got much better at the start of the second half. I think the heads are slightly going down now, though. This is an opportunity, though. Knock on by Cambridge inside of the 22. If they can build a platform here, maybe they can get those points.
Yeah, the big problem for Oxford is just that they have done so much defending, and it is always so much harder defending, so much more tiring defending, putting your body on the line than it is in attack, and they're just starting to run out of steam. So in their heads they'll be thinking we can't win this, and their bodies are starting to not react where they want them to. But you're right, an attacking opportunity here. It would be great to see Oxford get some points on the board.
More changes coming on now. You can see Simi Oyasana just running on there, joining the Oxford front row. She's ready to get straight into that scrum, just loosening up her shoulders, desperate to get involved.
And since the substitutions have been made, the Oxford scrummage has been more solid, so it should be a good attacking platform for them.
Simi Oyasana just helping out her hooker there, desperately to try and get the ball away. Carly Bliss still with the ball. Van der Grient, Donaldson can't gather. Emily McNally for Cambridge does. Randall.
Advantage over.
Kick away, danger away as well, as Wilson gets that ball away. Good, sound knowledge of the game there by Wilson.
Yeah, good clearance. The right decision at this point in the game. All Cambridge really need to do is keep Oxford in the other half of the pitch. Wilson really has had a solid game for Cambridge, one of their standout players.
Still 10 minutes to play. Far side of the field, Oxford ball. Oxford did actually pay themselves for their own pre-season training camp ahead of this match, knowing that this was going to be on television and knowing it was going to be here at Twickenham. And that shows huge commitment. They've put their hands in their own pockets to say, we want to go out there, we want to perform.
Tom off. Do you want to go and get that sorted? Yeah. Okay.
Chances like this don't come along very often, do they? It's not very often you get to be the first ever varsity team to play at Twickenham, so you can see the motivation.
Hold on, guys. Yeah,
we've got a little bit of a dislocated finger there for Oxford. Sorry if you saw that and you didn't want to. I think it's just going to be put back in. Bit of a brave face being going on there. You had a few of them in your time, Sue?
I have had a few. It looks really odd. She looked really not bothered by that at all, smiling her way through that, going back in.
Well, that's Caitlin McArdle there, who had the dislocated finger, who is completely unfazed by what's happened, gets straight back into it. She's actually got a judo background and she's very good in the tackle area. She loves smothering players at all times, and perhaps that's why she's quite so unfazed by a little bit of a dislocated fingerage, as we should call it. So as Middleton now works her way through. Middleton still going. Oh, Middleton, is she going to be on for the hat-trick? Still going straight away. Oxford desperately trying to get there. She gets it down. Middleton gets her hat-trick. The 28-year-old, who has been solid throughout this match, goes over for her third try, and Cambridge now up to 45 points.
It was a brilliant move from Cambridge. The ball back inside to Middleton, and then she just powers through because the Oxford defence is pushing out there completely wrong-footed, and then Middleton has all the pace she needs. Nobody's catching her. The despairing tackle from Wilcock. Look at that, it's beautiful, that move. Middleton straight through the middle. That is straight off the training ground.
That is the 6th try for Cambridge as well. Now, when this match was played last year, or I should say, I keep saying last year, it was last season, in March, Cambridge won 47-0. That was a record at the time, so if we get this conversion, it equals the varsity record for points scored for the women. Well, Anna Wilson has stepped up to take that one, possibly because it was out on the far side, so it remains 45-0, but it does mean that if Cambridge get another try, or if they get a penalty and score it, this will be a record margin in a women's varsity match.
And they really are laying it on thick now, Cambridge. Oxford getting tired, Cambridge throwing their best training ground moves together, so you wouldn't be surprised if they manage to get some more points on the board with 8 minutes to go.
Cambridge ready, waiting as Oxford get it back underway through Elle-Marie Van Heeren. Collected ball being through. Wilson manages to get it out to the far side. Hand to the ball now by Heather Britton, who's just keeping her toes inside of touch there. Brandon. Donegan. Randall again, Wilson again with the hugely effective kick into space. All of Oxford have to turn and gather. Well done there, fly half Wilcock. Managed to brush off the first tackle. Now McCardle. Oyasana getting over the gain line. Good work by the prop. Now Sophie Taylor pushed backwards slightly there, but good clearance kick there by Oxford. Had lovely height on it. It's Middleton again. Oh, she's deadly when she gets going. That's a great tackle that goes in though by Harat. Randall. Craver just placing that ball back. Cambridge looking deadly, and they're looking for the record here as well. Edgley taking on the ball, placed back by Randall. Eyes up, coming away with it. They've got numbers. It's Wilson again. Wilson's going. Will this be the record to go over? Wilson's going to be on for a hat-trick as well. She goes over. She lands. This will be a record scoreline in the women's varsity as Cambridge managed to knock up half a ton against Oxford.
It's all about Anna Wilson and Alice Middleton this second half for Cambridge. Two brilliant strike runners who are really showing what they can do. Oxford missing the first up tackles, that's the problem. Once you've missed those, leaves Emily Stone far too much, sorry, not Emily Stone, Imogen Duffy there at fullback, just leaves her far too much to do. Impossible really when you've got a player bearing down on you with the width of the pitch. But Anna Wilson, just such a strong, hard runner, isn't she? So difficult for the defence to bring down.
The conversion is good also by Middleton. Oxford 0, Cambridge 52. And look at that smile there of the coach there, Jack Baird. Here we go. You get to watch it one more time, Anna Wilson fans. This was her hat-trick. This was also the record point scorer. So that's the 7th try then for Cambridge. 3 for Middleton, 3 also for Wilson.
Yeah, they're a really potent combination, aren't they? It's so difficult for the defence when you've got 2 such strong runners.
Well, as this restart gets underway, it is now the moment for England captain Sue Day to give her first women's varsity woman of the match here at Twickenham.
Such a difficult call, isn't it? They've been such standout players. Let's just watch Oxford for a second having one last go at this.
They're still going and they want something out of this. We will give you that player of the match very shortly. It's Bliss who has it. She manages to look up. Wilcock is there. She manages to fly away. She gives it to the referee. Slight mistake. Right, who is your varsity women of the match?
So it's tight, isn't it? Alice Middleton, Anna Wilson have been outstanding out there in the backs. Not to say the Cambridge pack haven't been phenomenal as well. They're the ones that have given the good ball. So it's a real fight out between Anna Wilson, Alice Middleton. I'm giving it to Alice Middleton because she has just been so solid at the back there for Cambridge, always mopping up. Carly Bliss, such a threat with those box kick, and Alice Middleton has always been equal to them.
Well, it will be Alice Middleton at the final whistle who will receive the Bunting Peggers Trophy in honour of the 2 women who started the varsity back in 1988. Oxford with the ball. That's gone slightly forward. Still 3 minutes on the clock here. And Sue, you are a former Oxford Blue yourself. It would be nice for them just to get something on that scoreboard.
Yeah, I must admit at this point I'm really rooting for Oxford to get some points on the board.
Well, you can hear the cheer go up from the crowd. They've just announced it here in the stadium that Alice Middleton is the woman of the match.
It could so easily have been Anna Wilson, so hopefully she'll share the champagne with her teammate later on.
A very close call. Good work there by Carly Bliss, who was right up there on our opposite number, forced her to knock on the ball. Waiting now for Carly Bliss to get that ball in. She knows this might be her last opportunity here. The clock is really against Oxford. 2 minutes left.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Oxford scrum, far side of the field. They're inside of the Cambridge half. Another huge push going here by Cambridge. They managed to come away with it. Van Heeren places the ball backwards. Laura Bateman now has it. Carly Bliss. Support arrives. Not committing too many numbers to the ruck here at all, Cambridge. Van Heeren, the South African, handing off one player, going straight into the brick wall of Wilson, who does eventually get her woman down. Randall there, all over the ball. Did well to slow it down, but Oxford hold on. Is this Oxford's moment? Oyasana, working very hard, brushes the players off, needs to place it back. She's been held. Bliss has it. Still Oxford ball at the moment. Flying over, it's Helen Lamb who had it there. Still Oxford, is this their opportunity? Can they get points on the board? Oyasana has another go. Inches short of the line. This is no less than what Oxford deserve if they can get over the whitewash. Ball comes back out once again. It's the fly half Wilcock who's there. She is stretching. She's desperate to get her team over. Bliss looks up. There's numbers on the far side. It's out there, but it's been knocked on by Oxford. Cambridge gather the ball. Was that the opportunity? The referee's going to blow for the scrum. She's going to come back for the knock-on.
Scrum, white ball.
Huge frustration there by Oxford. Maria Lamont there. So frustrated. She just looked up ever so momentarily there. She did have Alice Milton there flying up in her face. A really tricky situation to be in. And this will be our last play of the match. The clock has now gone.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
It looks like we are heading now to a very impressive victory here for Cambridge. They need to get the ball out. They're not interested. They want to play. Ball comes away. Flown high into the air by Wilson. Loose on the ground. No one putting a name on it. Eventually Oxford have it. Place it back. Are they going to keep going?
Stay there.
Of course they're going to keep going.
Thank you.
Van der Green calls for support from Carly Bliss.
20 wide roll. 20 wide roll. Good.
Still Oxford, but going backwards. Taylor. Bliss finds Donaldson. Van der Green's again.
Lost,
Number 8 from Green Templeton, studying zoology, sets up the ball. Bliss, box kick. No catch there by Middleton. It's gone over the line. Middleton touches it down. That will be it. Full time here in the women's varsity. The first to be played at Twickenham, and it is an emphatic win for Cambridge. They have absolutely blown Oxford out of the water. 52-0. You can see the delight there for Cambridge as they fly into each other's arms. The whole bench is there as well. Whilst Oxford, they also console each other. But this is a light blue day for the women. So many smiles. They're so happy. The Cambridge team did tell me they'd bought some special speakers for this trip down to Twickenham. They're special speakers because it's actually Kira Scott, you can see in the middle of your screen there. She told me they can take them in the shower. Well, they will be celebrating. Apparently, celebration music involves Taylor Swift and Katy Perry. I cannot vouch for the Cambridge women's taste in music. Well, whilst Cambridge celebrate, and there also are their fans there jumping up and down. Oxford are still out on the pitch as well. They're in a big huddle at the moment. They should be so proud of what they put out here on the Twickenham pitch, because I can tell you they're not a bad squad at all. And Gary Street is really beginning to turn this Oxford squad around. He's putting shape and form back into their team, and although there are a few tears there on that pitch from Oxford, they have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. They've been absolutely brilliant competitors. just beaten by a better Cambridge side. And it's hard for both sides to put out these squads because a lot of them study on Wednesday afternoons when the British universities actually play most of their matches. So it's actually hard to put out consistent squads for either side. And here we go, Oxford come down the tunnel. Carly Bliss there leads her team through. The pats on the back. And of course then the tunnel will be returned there for Cambridge, who will then make their way through as well. Lots of claps there. Well, both of these teams, as much as they've had this match, they've got the rest of their season still to play. The British universities, colleges and sport, they both play in the Premier South Division. Cardiff Met lead that league at the moment, doing very well in it at the moment. Oxford are in third. Cambridge are down in fifth, but as we said, they have struggled. Well, let's get down to pitch side now, and Sue Day has made her way down there. She's with the winning captain for Cambridge, Nikki Weckman.
Nikki Weckman, Cambridge captain, playing in a varsity match is special enough, playing in a varsity match at Twickenham and winning. How does it feel?
It's an incredible feeling. The girls have worked so hard all season. They've left their heart and souls in the fitness and the training session. So to come out with a victory is just such a good feeling.
We watched some really impressive running rugby. Anna Wilson, Alice Middleton, a hat-trick each. They've been doing that for you all season?
They have been. They're absolutely incredible. They're such strong runners, and I'm so glad they're on our side.
I'm sure you are. It was hard work for the Oxford defence to keep up. Now, what point in that match did you know that you'd made it? Did you know you'd got the victory at Twickenham?
You know, we tried not to think about it because we take a 0-0 mentality throughout the whole game. We just want to keep playing and playing our best rugby. So we didn't want to let up at any point or reduce our standard, really.
It was a really good performance right the way through to the end. You really pulled away at the end, didn't you? What are you doing this evening for celebrations?
We have a nice dinner and then a little celebration with the teams together. So hopefully it'll be a good evening.
And the last word from you, how does it feel to be a little part of history?
It feels incredible. To put the women's game on this platform is so special. And so I'm really, really glad that we had the chance to show off our rugby today.
Congratulations, thanks very much.
Nikki Weckman there, the Cambridge captain, speaking with Sue Day down at pitchside. She goes back, look at those hugs and cuddles. Greeted by her teammate Chloe Withers there. And we're also having a presentation on the side of pitch at the moment to the women of the match. Alice Middleton, who has lifted the Bunting Peggers Trophy, of course named after the two women who started the varsity back in 1988. It all happened because of a conversation in a Cambridge pub after one of them had driven the cricket team for a match. And then we were here 28 years later. Of course, there's been two varsities this year. The first varsity was played in March, but because they wanted to make this a part of the men's varsity, it's been brought forward. It's normally played in March every year for the women, but now it will remain the same as the men, and it will be played here at Twickenham, as all these women deserve. And Oxford are now going to make their way up. To the trophy presentation. The Varsity Cup is there. Carly Bliss there just leading her team along the front. Lots of handshakes going in as she receives her runners-up tankards to the whole squad. Plenty of cheers going up from the crowd as everyone has actually gathered around the presentation area to get closer to the players. Well, of course, if you are getting a bit of a taste for women's rugby, don't forget we have the Women's Six Nations coming up very shortly. The England women's matches, they're still not quite decided where they're going to be played yet, but the RFU have assured us today they will be announcing that sometime next week. I can tell you that Ireland opened their campaign against Wales at Donnybrook on the 6th of February, whilst Wales' first home Six Nations fixture is against Scotland at the Knoll in Neath. That one on Valentine's Day, the 14th of February. And you can see now Cambridge have arrived, and they are waiting now for Nikki Weckman, who will be the first Cambridge captain to lift the Varsity Cup at Twickenham. Crowd getting so excited, so many old girls that are here as well. That is a decent bottle of champagne that Alice Middleton has got in her hand. I'm very sure she will be sharing it with her teammates. Nikki Weckman is struggling actually to get to the front. Everyone wants to be in a good position, I think, when they finally lift the trophy. There's Nikki Weckman right at the back, desperate to try and get through. So here we go, the Varsity Cup lifted by Cambridge lock Nikki Weckman, the first captain to lift the Varsity Cup at Twickenham Stadium. And you want to know how it's running now? Well, here's the tally. Oxford have won 18, Cambridge have now won 11. The light blues getting closer, and today it was with a record scoreline. Cambridge have beaten Oxford 52 points to 0.